Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, and curious minds alike, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Savit Vitthal Salian, a lifelong student of technology and IT operation. I stand before you today as someone who has not just witnessed but actively contributed to the evolving landscape of information technology, governance, and risk management. With over 25 years of professional experience spanning the banking, financial services, and insurance sector, as well as the dynamic world of telecommunication, my journey has been one of continuous learning, adaptation, and strategic foresight. From the nascent stages of my career, technology has always been at the core of my passion. I have been deeply immersed in IT governance, ensuring that organizations align their technological strategies with business objectives while maintaining integrity and efficiencies. Risk management has been another cornerstone of my expertise, allowing me to anticipate, assess, and mitigate potential threat in an era where cybersecurity challenges are ever increasing. Regulatory compliance, an area that demands precision, diligence, and a keen understanding of global and regional mandates, has been another significant aspect of my professional journey. I have worked closely with industry regulators, internal audit teams, and compliance officers to ensure that enterprise not only meet but exceed regulatory expectations. My role has often involved the meticulous design and implementation of IT controls, ensuring robust security postures and operation resiliency. Audit and control testing have also formed an integral part of my career, whether it be a thorough conducting of internal audit, identifying gaps in existing frameworks, or implementing control mechanisms that withstand scrutiny. My focus has always been on on fortifying organizations against vulnerabilities while fostering a culture of accountability and transparency. Yet, despite my vast experience, I consider myself first and foremost a student of technology. Technology is ever changing and one must remain agile, inquisitive, and open to new advancements. The challenges of tomorrow demands not just experience but an insatiable curiosity to explore new frontiers, adopt emerging technologies, and devise innovative solutions. It is with this mindset that I continue my journey, eager to contribute, collaborate, and create impacts. Whether it is through mentorship, thought leadership, or hands on problem solving, I remain committed to excellence in IT governance, risk management, and compliance. I look forward to engaging with like-minded professionals, sharing insights, and collectively shaping a future where technology serves as a pillar of security, innovation, and growth. Thanking you. Let's start this journey. Morning, everyone, and welcome to this lecture series on governance, risk, compliance, audit, and controls. With a focused lens on banking, financial services, and insurance sector. This is going to be a deep dive into how these critical domains function, evolve, and interact to ensure stability, transparency, and security in one of the most regulated industries in the world. Over the course of this series, we would explore the history of banking, regulations, the intricate mechanism of regulatory bodies, and how GRC principle manifest in the BFSI sector. We will then broaden our view on to see how this principle extend to the technology sector and cybersecurity, two indispensable elements of modern banking. This structured approach will help us not only appreciate the complexity of the GRCs but also understand its application in the rapidly transforming digital era. let us begin by sketching the roadmap of our journey together. Welcome. The evaluation of BFSI sector and regulatory framework. Let's understand this. To build a strong foundation, we will start by dwelling into the history of BFSI sector. We will examine how banking evolved from a system of trade and barter to today's highly sophisticated global financial network. Throughout this transformation, financial institutions have faced numerous challenges like economic crisis, fraud, systematic failure, all of which have necessitated the stringent regulation and compliance framework. A significant part of our discussion will be dedicated to understanding the role of banking, regulators. Every major economy has a dedicated regulator, such as the Federal Reserves in US, the European Central Bank in Europe, the Reserve Bank of India. They are all tasked with maintaining economic stability and safeguarding financial institutions against systematic risk. We will explore how these regulatory bodies function, enforce compliance, and oversee risk mitigation to protect the depositors and investors alike. As we trace the evaluation of regulatory framework, we will discuss landmark regulations such as the Basel Accord, the SOX Act, and the newer GDPR and India's DPDP Act, etc. These regulations have shaped how banks operate and have defined risk management and compliance protocol across the globe. While I have listed only a few, we'll be going through the details of many more critical regulators across the globe. So, any audience who is from those countries can benefit from the understanding of the regulation, the interpretation. We'll be go deeper as we go deeper into this series. Thanks for joining. Understanding governance, risk, and compliance. Once we have a solid grasp of the historical and regulatory landscape, we will then transition into the core subject of this series: governance, risk, and compliance. Governance. This segment will cover the principle of corporate governance, exploring how boards, executive management, and risk committee set the strategic direction, establish accountability, and create policies to ensure ethical and legal business operations. Then we will dwell into risk management. Risk management in this, the bank operates in a inherently risky environment. It constitutes credit risk, market risk, operational risk, and cyber risk. All play a critical role in our financial stability. We will discuss risk assessment framework, risk mitigation strategies, and the role of enterprise risk management, also called as ERM, in preventing financial mishaps. Compliance. This aspect ensures that an institution operates within legal and regulatory boundaries. Compliance is a moving target, constantly evolving as new laws and directives emerge. We will discuss regulatory technologies and its growing impact on automating compliance monitoring and reporting. GRC cannot function effectively without a strong internal and external audit mechanism. During this part of the series, we'll explore specifically the audit and the control mechanism which ensures assurance. We will be looking at internal audit, external audit, control design, and testing. In specific, from an internal audit perspective, we have to understand that this is the first line of defense in ensuring that governance and risk framework are properly implemented. External audit. In this, the independent review mechanism conducted by third party firm to verify financial reporting, regulatory adherence, and operational soundness. It's ensured so as to there is a confidence that is built about how the operation is run on the ground. From a control design and testing perspective, in this segment we will cover the importance of controls, mechanisms in preventing fraud, ensuring transaction integrity, and maintaining security. Understanding how audits and controls interconnect with compliance and governance will provide us with an end to end perspective of risk management and mitigation in the BFSI segment. Once we complete and cover the audit and the control space, we will then dwell into GRC in the banking sector. This is the specific area that we will be going deeper during this series. We will zoom in how GRC operates specifically within the banking industry. Modern banking is a complex, technology driven industry that requires meticulous risk management, stringent compliance mechanism, and robust internal control. We will discuss case studies of major banking failures such as the 2008 financial crisis, recent banking frauds, just to understand where governance and controls have broken down. It's important that we understand this so we have the right context on why there are rules and regulations which the regulators wants to be enforced across its area. We will look at the evaluation of risk-based supervision and the increasing role of data-driven insights in regulatory reporting. We will analyze the push for transparency in financial transactions and the role of forensic audit in investigating banking frauds. Once GRC in banking sector is done, as part of the series, we will be moving to GRC in the technology sector. Banking today is inseparable from technology. As digital banking, fintech startup, and blockchain innovation continues to disrupt the financial sector, the application of GRC principle within technology industry is more critical than ever. We will explore IT governance frameworks such as COBIT and ITIL and their role in managing technology risks. The role of digital transformation is in compliance with a focus on how AI and machine learnings are being leveraged for fraud detection and regulatory reporting. We'll be going deeper when we touch this topic. That's an area in itself, a specialized area. We will be looking at every aspect of this space. We'll also looking at how technology companies that provide banking infrastructure such as cloud providers and payment processors must adhere to financial regulations and cybersecurity mandates. These are critical because in itself, a banking needs these providers, service providers, for completing the business. So it's important that we understand this critical aspect of how a vendor plays a role in providing the services and how a breach or a compromise in our vendor process, technology, can impact the principal, which is the bank, and how a breach in their space can cause a major cause of concern for the banking sector as a whole. We'll go deeper when we touch there. Continuing our journey in this series, we will be then moving on to GRC in cybersecurity. With cyber threats looming large over the financial sector, cybersecurity has become a top priority for regulators, banks, and fintech companies alike. We will discuss the frameworks such as NIST, ISO 27001, and PCI DSS, and their relevance in securing financial data. The increasing threat of cyber attack, ransomware, and data breaches in banking, and how governance and risk management practice can mitigate such risk will be discussed. Regulatory requirement for cybersecurity, including operational resiliency directives issued by the financial regulator worldwide, will be taken up in detail. We'll be going through each aspects of it, the best practices around that space, so that the basics and the fundamentals are very clear as we go deeper into the subject. As part of the conclusion and the expectation from a lecture series, we will be exploring not just theories but real world application of GRC in BFSI, technology, and cybersecurity space. Each session will be structured with case studies, practical examples, and insight from industry trends. By the end of this series, my goal is for you to develop a strong conceptual foundation in GRC, an understanding of its regulatory implications, and the ability to critically analyze risk, controls, and compliance challenges faced by modern financial institutions. I encourage you to actively participate, do ask questions, and engage in discussion so that this series is not just an academic exercise but a learning experience that you can apply in real world. Thank you. I look forward to taking this journey with you.